Back again, nice and early for y'all. Yeah, I just realized probably got cut off. I jumped the gun a bit. It's early. You can forgive me. At least you don't have to completely see my face. Here's the deal. I woke up a short time ago and got to looking on Facebook, and lo and behold, that Colin Kaeppernick, or however it is you pronounce his name. I don't know. I don't follow sports that closely. He's suing the NFL under a collective bargaining agreement that says the owners of teams cannot collude to keep from hiring a player. For those of you who don't know, he's the one behind the kneeling during the national anthem stuff that's currently sweeping the NFL. He's apparently been a free agent pretty much all year because it's just a mess. No one will hire him but after he wound up leaving his other job, leaving or getting fired, I don't know which, after getting benched. The whole idea is that because how controversial he's been, the owners of all these teams of all the teams in the NFL have worked together, talked behind the scenes, and have agreed not to hire him. And it sounds all convincing. I mean, he can't be hired. I don't know if he's a decent player or not. I don't even know if he's been around enough to prove he could be a decent player. I don't know. Even if he did, I don't follow sports, so I don't know. I really don't. So his grand scheme is that, no one will hire me, therefore all these owners have gotten together and decided not to hire me. I'm calling bull crap on that, and here's why. His motive is not pure. I think he got into this and was spending money on the idea that he was going to be making millions of dollars a year. Now he don't have that income that he was banking on. No one's beating on his doors to hire him. He probably has, like I said, an income issue, and probably has some debt issues to go along with it. And he's desperate for the money, and he needs it right now. That's probably why he's suing. He's probably not expecting to win. I'll go into that in a second. He's probably right now just hopeful that he can get a big payout, that the NFL will try to avoid a lawsuit, just pay him off, and either pay him handsomely enough to go away, or he may be able to strong arm a job making something. I don't know if the NFL is going to cave on that just because, I'll go into that. When he started the movement of kneeling, he became a martyr for his cause. That's the problem with going into, starting a social justice movement, whatever. It's very easy to become, when you rock the boat like that, it's very easy to become hated and basically into martyrdom. First Amendment gives you the right to do so. It doesn't protect you from the consequences for doing so. That's what he's finding out, is he became the most hated person in the NFL for his cause. Plain and simple. Now, granted, his cause has gained some steam after Trump stuck his nose into it, and Trump probably shouldn't have done so, given he's the president. But that's for another video. While his cause has gained a little bit of steam, old Kaepernick, or however it is you pronounce his name, is still hated because at this point, people may not even be aware as to why they hate him. They just know they hate him. It happens. sometimes the negative feelings can outlast the reason for the negative or the knowledge for the reason behind the negative feelings. There's some that do remember why, and that's because he started a social justice movement against, what he calls, basically white privilege, police brutality against minorities, etc. A lot of people, especially the people who make up the majority of the fan base of the NFL, don't buy into that. They just don't. They're typically not your upper class people. A lot of minorities don't watch the NFL. When you think of NFL, you think lower class white Americans. Sorry, hate to tell you that, but when you think the stereotypical NFL viewer, that's what pops up. Kind of like NASCAR. And they're not going to feel, we're talking middle class and the lower classes, not the elite. And a lot of them are not going to feel privileged. Trust me, I'm lily white and I'm not privileged. I'm poor as all get out, have a crappy job I could have gotten out of high school, literally, because I got a degree in college for what I wanted that would get me into intelligence analyst with the Marine Corps. Instead, I blew my knee out because I'm not athletic at all. Didn't think that through. It's my own fault. Should have been an engineer like I wanted, like something told me to do, but I didn't listen. Oh well. And the thing is, there's a lot of people in worse shape than I am watching the NFL. They're not going to feel privileged. Instead, they're going to feel like he's taking their money and then giving them the finger, and he's going to be hated for that. And because of that, it is very much possible that he's just, for lack of better words, radioactive. It's not that these owners are working against him, conspiring against him to have a job. They just need to make their teams to make money, and they don't see having him on the team as a way to do so. He's more of a liability at this point than he is an asset. Plain and simple. And the main reason why, and I think that's why his lawsuit's going to fail, is because he's going to have a hard time proving the conspiracy aspect to the collusion. He would have to prove that, yes, these owners did in fact meet and discuss not hiring him. And quite frankly, he's going to be hard-pressed to do so. When he made a public spectacle of himself for his cause, he kind of made himself a martyr. He made himself a martyr for a cause. Now, socially in America, he is, it might as well be trying to pass around a rod of plutonium. That's what he is. No one's going to want him. Now, if he were to be a good boy, keep his mouth shut, in a couple of years he might get signed and get to be a nobody and make something, but he's not proven himself to want to keep his mouth shut. He kind of wants to keep his mouth open and fight the cause. And as noble as it is to stay with the sinking ship, so to speak, he ain't helping his career out by doing so. And by trying to sue any potential employers he has for not hiring him, that's just going to leave a bitter taste in their mouths. And then all of a sudden there really will be a conspiracy not to hire him. Not because he made himself out to be social plutonium or whatever, but because he tried to sue them over it. He's trying to sue them because of the response to a decision he made. Now he's going to find himself in a conspiracy not to be hired. Oh well. That's the thing when you go with a lot of these social justice warriors. They don't think about the consequences. They just do it out of emotion, out of passion, out of whatever. They don't really think, they think everyone's going to jump on the bandwagon with them. They don't understand that there's a possibility that it ain't going to happen. And he's learning that right now, that it ain't happening. And now he might be able to get a job as a Lucky McBurger flipper. So sorry, but it sucks. That's what happens when you make yourself out and, make a spectacle of yourself in the national news media. It either works to your advantage or it doesn't. In his particular situation, in case, it ain't. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on the matter. I hope I didn't ramble on too much. Let me know what you think. Later.